Hello, my name is Voya and welcome to my deep guide. A couple of hours ago I got a very interesting email and it came from Kobo. And it was a press release announcement for their latest upcoming device called the Kobo Elipsa. So let's check it out. Kobo Elipsa is going to be the first time, as far as I'm aware of, that Kobo has made a device that is note-taking capable. So not just an e-reader like the most excellent Kobo Libra H2O, which is in many respects probably one of my favorite and the best e-reader devices out there, just a dedicated e-reader. And now the excellent user interface, excellent reader capabilities, and excellent overall design that I really appreciate in the H2O. I am hoping that we're gonna get to see even more of that on the upcoming Elipsa, but this time with the ability to actually write and take our notes. So let's check out the details that we can see from the press release so far. As I said, Kobo Elipsa is an e-reader and an e-note capable taking device, so basically an e-note device. It is a 10.3-inch e-ink Carta HD equipped device, and that means that it's the same screen like on the Note Air, for example. So it means the same 1404 by 1872 pixels resolution at the density of 227 ppi. The dimensions seem to be quite normal, except that the thickness is at 7.6 millimeters, so not on the thinner side of things like the Remarkable and the Note Air are. It is powered by a quad-core 1.8 GHz CPU, which has 1 GB of RAM at its disposal. Now, before you smirk off at 1 GB, that's far too little. Well, for an Android system, yes, it would be far too little, but as far as I understand it, Kobo is running, I believe, a Linux underneath, or it's a Linux-based OS underneath, and in that case, if that is the case, then 1 GB is more than enough for it to actually handle these things. Now, the only area where it might actually become a little bit of a slower thing is if you start having really ginormous notebooks, but even then it might not be an issue because of the way how Linux deals with memory management, which is a really good way. It is equipped with a 2400 milliamp battery, and if Libra H2O is anything to go by, which probably has the best, by far, the best battery management and battery life that I've seen so far on any device, Kindles included, then yeah, I'm really excited to see how the battery management is on the Elipsa. We can also see from the included images that there are no buttons, and the datasheet also says there's only one button, the power button, so no navigation buttons on the Elipsa. I have mixed feelings about this. I totally understand that, if the navigation is done in such a way that it makes sense, but the other side of things is that I really did like these buttons here, and I did use them a lot in the e-reader side of things. So yeah, if the gesture navigation is implemented properly, then I don't have a problem with it. It's just a nostalgic thing regarding the buttons that I really loved on this little guy. Elipsa comes in one color so far. They're calling it the Midnight Blue. It seems rather dark on the images, but I don't know what it looks like from the back or from the front. It comes with the black stylus, and it has a sleep cover, I believe they call it, which comes in a color they call slate blue. And all of these things together are titled Kobo Elipsa Pack. Pretty standard stuff. Now, here are a couple things that I am excited about regarding Kobo Elipsa. First of all, it's their user interface and their approach to the whole platform. It's something that it's really well balanced, and it looks and it uses in a good way. So I hope that translates, and that same mentality translates into the Elipsa and the note-taking side of things, especially because this is their first time that they're actually doing something like this. The second thing that I really like is the front light, something they call comfort light. Again, my guideline is the Libra H2O. It is probably the best front light of all devices out there. Maybe the only one on par is the InkPad X, because that one also has an outstandingly good front light. But for daily use, this has so far been my kind of yardstick, and it would be nice to see if they are able to scale that up to the 10.3-inch screen size and to have that uniformity and softness in the front light on the Elipsa as well. The e-reader side of things natively has built in the dark mode, which I really like, and combined with the dark frame of the device, whether it's black or midnight blue, it doesn't matter, but when you switch over to the dark mode, it should look really good and very comfortable to read. On the note-taking side of things, what do we know? Well, we know that we get a stylus, pressure-sensitive stylus, but it doesn't actually mention if it's a 2048 or 4096 levels of pressure sensitivity. We also don't have any mention about the stylus, whether is it active or a passive stylus. Now, why do I even mention it? Well, because one of the notes on the press blurb says that the stylus has 2 buttons. Now, I haven't seen a passive stylus that has 2 buttons per se, but I have seen quite a few styli or styluses that have 2 sensors, one on the back as an eraser and one button as a button, usually again as an eraser. So maybe they've actually went ahead and did something new, which is to have actually a passive stylus with 2 buttons, and that can be very interesting depending on how those 2 button functionality has been implemented, whether we will be able to customize the functionality of that, or if the built-in functionality is something that enhances the workflow. So that's something that can drastically reduce the amount of taps and things like that. So I'm very excited about something that sounds mundane, like 2 buttons on a stylus, but it has a potential to be really important thing. For the notebooks, they mentioned that you will be able to change the brush shape, size, color. They don't mention if it's going to be just grayscale or actual colors, like in books that you can mark it up and then export, and when it's exported, it is in color. And again, just to clarify, this is not a color device. Carta HD screen is a monochromatic screen, which means Elipsa is a monochromatic device, not a color device. So even if it has color strokes, they will not appear on the screen, but they will appear when you export your marked up documents or your written notes elsewhere. So that's the color that I'm talking about. They also mention fairly basic templates such as lined and grids, like and blank, as basic as it gets, but there's no mention on custom templates. I really hope that the custom templates is something that's there right from the start, because it is an important consideration, especially if the built-in collection of templates is limited to just lines and squares, because that's something that's very much needed for a note-taking platform. They also mention a very convenient and one-button press convert to text functionality. Again, no real details here other than that it will have the capability to convert to text, but we don't have mention which languages or how you can use it. Is it going to be per page? Is it going to be like Remarkable that you just are able to convert when sharing, or can you convert and save it locally on the device? What can you do with that converted data? Does it stay converted like on MobiScribe and on books or not, etc. So still no details as of yet, but at the very least we know that Elipsa will be able to do text conversion of some sort. And Elipsa also has built-in Dropbox support, which means that you can share your whatever it may be, content, marked up content, converted content, blah content via Dropbox away from the device and onto your recipients. I don't know if it's possible to actually get the data into the device, so that's going to be an interesting thing to test out as well. On the reader side of things, you get the standard really excellent ebook reader capabilities. I'm hoping to see the same thing actually translated onto the PDFs as well, and I'm going to see how they are actually implementing the markup and the formatting of PDFs and all of these kinds of things. So that remains to be seen. As far as e-reader and e-book reader side of things remains, it's same access that you had before for the Overdrive and Pocket libraries and all of the other convenience, and of course the Kobo bookstore, which is their own bookstore, sort of like Amazon is. Release date currently stands at June 24th of this year, with the MSRP price listed as $399 US, 499 Canadian dollars, 589 Australian dollars, 399 euros, and 349 British pounds. And I've saved the best for last. I also got the confirmation from Kobo that I should be receiving the review unit of the Elipsa very shortly. So that's extremely exciting to see, and I'm very much looking forward to being able to test out the first note-taking capable device from Kobo. That's something that I've been waiting and wishing for quite a while. If you like the video, please like and subscribe down below, and definitely ding the notification bell to get notified when new videos about the upcoming review unit for the Kobo Elipsa are out, and when it actually arrives on the My Deep Guide test desk. Stay safe, stay healthy, and see you in the next video. Bye!